Hello, guys. Good afternoon. I hope everybody's doing well. So, today I decided to come and do a live. It's been a while, and um, school has reopened, okay? And to be honest, okay, no, let me just reset. So, if this is your first time here, my name is Yasmi, and this is my kitchen, but today we are coming on live to talk about something very important. If you join this live, please give me a thumbs up and leave a comment down below as we go along so that it's not be like it's only me that is here. I can see that there's nobody here yet. Okay, there's one person here. Please, when you join, give me a thumbs up first and let's get into the conversation. Today we are going to be talking about what not to pack in your kids' lunch boxes. I feel like a lot of videos tell us what to pack, but just few of them talk about what not to pack. Okay, so this afternoon, that's what we're here to talk about. And if my eyes stray off a bit, that means I'm reading off a script. So the thing is, I planned on recording this video and then editing, of course, and then putting it out there. But for not for some reason, but I couldn't. What is it called? But I didn't have the time because life happened. Okay, so I was just like, okay, let me just come on here and then share a live rather than what is it called, record, edit, and then post. Live videos are easy to stream or post because there's no editing and it's just raw footage. So whatever mistakes, you take it like that. Okay, please, if you join the live, give me a thumbs up. Good afternoon to you and a happy new year because this is the first live I'm doing for January. Here in Ghana, we say happy new year till the end of January. But if you've not seen somebody or if you didn't see the person in January, you can still be saying Happy New Year till eventually another Christmas comes, okay? Please, if you join the live, even if you leave me, give me a thumbs up and go. But that's what I'm saying. Don't go, stay. Today, like I said, we are talking about what not to pack in your child's lunch box. So, like I mentioned earlier, a lot of videos and um blog posts or readings talk about what to pack, but today we are coming to talk about what not to pack. So let me just get into the video so that if this is a replay, you don't get tired of listening to me, okay? So the first point I would say is that it's perfectly okay to pack leftover supper or dinner for your child to school, okay? The reason is, if the food is not finished, why should you not eat it, or why should you throw it away, if that makes sense? And it even makes morning packing easier. So one thing, me for example, I wish this is another reason why I didn't shoot this video, because I was not going to get visual, what is it called, imagery or videos of what I'm coming to discuss. The thing is, I pack only breakfast for my boys, so I would not be able to show you what a typical lunch box is because I don't pack it for my boys, okay? But I can be able to talk about it. So that's why I also decided to come and do a live rather than do a sit down video and talk about this, okay? So, like I was saying, first of all, there's nothing wrong with leftovers. If you had jollof um the previous evening and there's some leftover, it makes your job easier as a parent to pack up that jollof for lunch, to like for your child to take to school. It just makes sense actually. So that you don't have to wake up, like when you wake up, you prep breakfast and then you have to now think of what to give them for lunch again. Unless of course, personally, unless of course the food is not as you I'm sure, as I go on in the conversation, you understand this I'm about to say. The food is not lunch box friendly, and you understand in a bit. So when I say that, I'm talking about foods that, for example, have palm oil in them. See, if you are giving your child palm oil foods at home or foods that include palm oil, you are more likely to cover them up or wear them something that like you don't Like you not be bothered when it gets stained, okay? Let's just say that they have a baby in school, or they put napkins around their neck when they're in school to feed them or whatever. Still, me, my boys wear white to school almost every day. In fact, every day they have white in their attire. So if I give them banko and okra soup, which I've done, I prepare the okra soup with palm oil like this, and they come back and they have this palm oil stain in their shada. Like Charlie, I go ball. It's not like to be the fault of the teacher or anything, but it's just more convenient not to give them foods that contain palm oil to school. So, like, in fact, I've said one point: don't pack lunch for your child that has palm oil inclusive. Kontomire stew with palm oil, okra soup with palm oil, okra soup stew with palm oil. What other foods are there? In potom poto, it has palm oil as well. I think maybe if you want to pack in potom poto, which I would not recommend, you want to pack in potom poto for your child, make sure that it doesn't have too much of the palm oil in there. But let me backtrack a bit. Let's talk about the lunch boxes themselves. So it's advisable that kids are given colorful lunch boxes with their calories inclusive. We need to motivate them to eat, okay? So it's better if you buy, like, you go to the market, and unless of course your child, like for example my son who is 5, he's old enough to say, oh mommy, I like this color, I like this, his favorite color is blue. So honestly speaking, we just have the sense that if we are going to buy something for him that he would like, or he would like to use, we are most likely going to buy something that's blue, because when he, like, you won't discuss it, like, Charlie, this is a new blue um fork, use it, there's a new blue, I don't know, anything in blue is his thing. So it would just be nice if the child is old enough or has a favorite color, just ask them, then they will choose their lunchbox in that color, and they are more likely to like be excited about lunch in general, okay? And also apart from the color, make sure that whatever you're packing for them is something that they enjoy already or they eat at home. See, not to throw the teachers under the bus, because they are doing an amazing job at taking care of the kids, but it's just too stressful. You and Kasano, if your child doesn't like a particular food and you're trying to feed them and they are not taking it, it is stressful for you. So just imagine them taking it to school, and 3 or 4 other kids, 5 other kids, give the parents, their own parents, such feeding stress. Just imagine what it will do for all of you. Okay, sorry. Let me just share this live. Take a pause and share this live. Um, okay. Okay, sorry, we are back. So, like I was saying, it will just make sense if you give the child something he or she already enjoys, okay, so that it will not be like you are stressing the teachers as well to feed them. And moving on, I wrote some points there, so if I keep going back to it, it's not a problem. So yeah, and make sure it's a balanced diet. See, for example, if you're going to pack like rice and stew for your child, if the school is not going to be giving them fruits, it's either you pack the fruits alongside, or give them the fruits when they get home, depending on the time they come back home. Me, like, for if I was going to pack a lunch box for my kids, personally, I would make sure that if I include fruits, it will not be fruits that are difficult. Let me explain. I will not pack like what fruit is even. I will not pack a whole orange. Like if I'm going to give an orange to my child, I will slice it up, like, what do they call it? Core it. Like you remove the inside, you know. Like there's some stick inside that holds the whole orange together. Like I'll remove it, you know. I'll make it easier for the child to enjoy. Please, if you join the live, please give me a thumbs up. I can see one thumb up, please. The second person who I joined, just say hi also if you joined. I'm talking about what not to include or what not to pack in your child's lunchbox. Okay, so if you join, you can also add in your input. Oh, Miranisa, I don't know if I've told you already. I really love your name. Thank you so much for joining this live. Thank you so much for the support also. So like I was saying, me, I'll not add in a whole orange because I know the child, like even if I cut the top with the intention that my son will squeeze the juice out of it, their hands are not like strong enough to squeeze the juice. So I'll just cut it up or something so that it will be easy for them to suck out the juice or something like that. So just consider that as well. And there's some fruits that are, like for example, let's take bananas. If your child is young or not old enough to peel the banana and eat by themselves, honestly, personally, I will not advise that the child takes it. And there's something about banana. If the temperature around it is too hot, it begins to blacken and it may soften up and all those things. Me, I don't like that wahala. So if personally, I will not choose a banana as a lunch box fruit, if that makes sense. And just even think about it, if the child is going to eat it later on and the child is even like maybe under one, because some people do take their kids to school that early, or maybe a little over 1 year and is not old enough to peel the banana, you would have to peel it yourself, slice it up and then put it in a container, which would keep it so they are ready to eat it. There's nothing wrong with the oxidization that takes place, like when it becomes brown before eating. There's like it is soup, like there's nothing poisonous about it or anything, but it just doesn't look appealing. And if you want a child to eat the food, the first thing you should make it is for the child is like it has to look appealing. Okay, one great fruit you can pack will be pawpaw. So pawpaws are, my first son like this, he likes the hard, like he doesn't like the mushy, the soft pawpaw. So if I was packing lunch for him, I'll give him the hard pawpaws, which of course I'll cut them up into smaller bits so that it's easier for him to enjoy eat it when he has to. Okay, yeah, where were we? Yes, the boys are back in school. They've started a new school year and they are both very excited about it. Thankfully, there were no tears. They started yesterday. There were no tears yesterday. So yeah, fingers crossed. And they came back with stories. I mean, everybody's child took their Christmas stories to school, so they had quite a lot of things to say. So it's good to have them away from home. I mean, the stress has reduced more, so that when they come back later in the evening, we'll continue from where the teachers left off. But yeah, they are enjoying their new classes. Oh, Ijo Machali, finally. You have pushed me to do this live. That's why I'm doing it. Because my tired is tired, actually. I'm trying. So what was I? So like I was saying, ensure that it's a balanced diet you're packing for them for lunch. Please, if you join the live, give me a thumbs up. Okay, and say hi so that I know you're here, because I only see the number of people who are on the live, but I don't get to see who exactly is on here. So give me a thumbs up if you pass through, and then say hi so that I know that you are here. Okay, and I'll give you a special shout out. Yeah. So what was I saying? So balanced diet is very necessary. Even if you can't ensure that they are getting that balanced diet in school, make sure that when they are back at home, you supplement, more like it. You make sure they are getting it from home as well. Okay. And moving on. So let me highlight on these don'ts. Kids don't like to see food in large portions. Most kids, let me talk for my boys. Unless they are eating together, I don't really give them a huge portion of food. It's better if they finish it and then they ask for more. But don't make that mistake that you'd like Charlie pack a plate for a child. The child will not eat it. So it's advisable, same way for their lunch boxes, to keep it small portions. Whatever things you are packing. In Ghana, we do simple stuff. It's rice and stew, jollof, like no, like I don't know how to say it. The condiments or the accompaniments are small. Please, if you join the live, give me a thumbs up, okay? So just make sure that the meal portions are small so that it will not be like they've opened the child's lunchbox. The food is a lot. Like, and sometimes the teachers feel like maybe this the child has to finish it. If you are not careful, the teachers will be like, Charlie, finish the food, finish the food. Oh, better, but I really appreciate you for passing through, okay? Hello to you. I hope say only a good day, any boys, nina mohoye. Thank you so much for joining the live. A moment. Ah, okay. Thank you so much, IJ. Thank you so much for the motivation today too. If it was not you, Anka, like I'll not do lie. Better, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We thank God you're all doing well as well. Okay. So like I was saying, don't pack large quantity or amount of food for the kids, because if you don't take care and the teachers force them, it's not good. Overeating too is not good. And you don't want the food also going waste, because Charlie, if the teachers force them and they're not eating, they'll throw the food away. So it's better you have it at home, and it can be another portion, another time of the day or whatever. Okay. So another point, I think I've mentioned this already. No palm oily foods. See, I don't know. I think I'll say this thing like a thousand times every time somebody asks me this question: what not to pack for your child's, like into your child's lunchbox. See, it's stressful to wash palm oil. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I don't even use my hands to wash, but it's just stressful to wash palm oil out of anything. Talk less of a white something. So just for school, avoid it, because in the house, I mean, you can be very vigilant to make sure that it doesn't stain the dress, or maybe you wear the child a colored something or whatever. But palm oil, personally, is a no-no for me when it comes to packing your child's lunchbox. Okay. And I think I sort of mentioned this earlier, that don't pack a new food for your child. Me, when I try my new recipes, I try it for them in the house and make sure they enjoy it. If they don't enjoy it, there's no way under this earth, or it's there's no way on this earth, that's how, if my boys were taking lunch to school, I would pack something that they didn't eat at home, and then what is it called? Send them away with it to school. I will not do that. The child is going to be frustrated eating. Their teachers are going to be frustrated feeding them. So just imagine, like, what is it? Just give them something they enjoy. Recently, a friend of mine was talking about the fact that her son enjoys rice and I think omutu or something, and she's concerned because the school gives them food and she packs extra food. I don't know when she picks up the boy, but that's what she said. The school gives them food and she also cooks something for the boy to take to school for like, so that's like pre-lunch, so like brunch, because they eat at home, and then maybe around 10ish they feed the child with whatever that she packed for him, and then they have lunch around 12 1 thereabout. So she was saying that she first of all doesn't know, sometimes she clashes with the school timetable, the school's food timetable, and unfortunately her boy has very few favorites, and rice is one of them. And I was like, madam, jollof, plain rice, fried rice, green rice, herb rice, give her children, they will never, if they like something, they never get tired of it. Just put it in a variety of ways, pack it with different nutrients. Beetroot rice, like, I don't know, explore. Once you give it to them at home and they like it, that's a jackpot. Take it, put it down somewhere in your memory bank, write it somewhere that this is Kwamna Watson's favorite food. Anya, in a week, or did it twice, or did it 3 times, nothing will happen to the child. Me, like, you praise the Lord. Me, oh, to be honest, I don't have picky eaters. When the boys are hungry, they eat. So maybe they're not eating. I don't want to bother myself like child like that. But I know a lot of parents struggle with picky kids or picky eater kids. So I can get it if they are like, they have few favorites or something. But once you identify those few favorites, pump them with nutrients and you're good to go. I know parents will say, like, for example, There's a mommy that came into my inbox saying that their child just likes the morikoko. I was like, morikoko, add carrots tomorrow, add bananas tomorrow next, add beetroot the following day. Like, sorry, be creative, be adding all these different things to it. You'll be okay. That recently, winging it with AC, she shared tomato stew recipe maybe for her son who is Cuckoo should. Cuckoo is almost 1 year. I'm just realizing. I think Cuckoo is a February born. So February is a March or something. Mm. And she made tomato stew for him. And she blended everything and then just put everything in there. Like Charlie, if your child doesn't like meat, blend the meat and add it to the stew. Last, the child will be okay. He or she will be getting the nutrients fine. So please don't like work overthink these things. I think they'll grow out of it. Me, I'm a personal exam. An example, not a person, but I'm a living testimony. Okay, I really didn't like I didn't like food at all when I was a young or like a child. Let me put it that way. My parents used to struggle with like getting me to eat anything at all, and I'm sure that I had favorites, but they just didn't realize it or something. And one pediatrician they went to see was like, Charlie, wait, the time that this your child will start eating, you'll be shocked. True. It's not like I eat like chow now, but I eat when I have to. Like I can be a foodie when I want to or whenever I can. Okay, so Charlie, sometimes don't overthink these things. If it's their favorites, just pack it for them and then let them take it to school. It doesn't matter if it's 3 times a day, a week, or whatever. Be adding more nutrients through the vegetables, through their fruits. They will be okay. They will grow well. Charlie, this parenting thing, sometimes it's just a matter of winging it. You'll be fine. You'll be fine, honestly. Another thing, aha. Hmm. What another thing not to pack for your kids for in their lunch boxes is foods that are difficult to eat when they are cold. So if you yourself see, Miranisa is also saying that her parents were so worried and they realized that it was kinky that she liked. Oh, now you see, oh, now your shirt is not falling off your shoulder again. Now you're wearing skin tight also. Charlie, times change. So sometimes it just takes patience. It just takes patience. I think it's frustrating to have a child that does not eat, but just allow it. Allow it. In 2023, if anybody comments about the weight of your child, eh, me, I'm telling you to blast the person. See, if the doctors are not giving you any cause to worry about how much your child is weighing or whatever, don't listen. I know like chubby people who are very healthy, and I know skinny people who are very unhealthy. So it is not really about how the child looks. If they have a healthy weight compared to their height or whatever, their age, forget about what anybody is saying. If it's the doctor coming from the doctor or whatever, fine. That's okay. But nobody should see your child and say, hey, now 1 year now, or kitty say. I mean, if you find me in that bad mood and you give a comment about how my child is looking, I'll give it back to you. I'll hot. Obviously, I'll serve you breakfast. So Charlie, sometimes don't worry about these things and don't compare your child to some other child. If my first boy, no, let me, Roy has always been chubby, so like Oriku is the second. He is he is like more like his mom because Ninja and Nihunamsa, and he's also smallish, okay. But funny enough, he eats more than his elder brother. So just imagine if somebody sees Oriku, who is a little smaller, and he tells me that, or he or she tells me that, hey, Obey, for 3 years they asked Urusa, have you seen me? Do you know their dad? Please, let's not even have that combo. If I take them to the hospital and the doctor is like, Charlie, wait dear for his age and yeah, fine, I'll do something about it, obviously. But once I know in my like I'm feeding them well, they are not sick. There are some things that Charlie me I don't take to heart. I'll just do the little I can and leave the rest to God. Charlie, he is the ultimate protector of all of us. If I'm feeding them rice, they're eating correctly, and they are growing, they'll flourish. Honestly speaking, sometimes you just don't overthink these things. Okay. So yeah, I was saying something that don't pack foods that are difficult to eat when they are cold. I know that a lot of these lunch boxes are designed to keep food warm till they are ready to be eaten. But unless somebody has tried it and given a testimony that, oh, sir, my friend is a thermos, okay, this thermos flask is very good, that it keeps things warm or cold for this period of time, okay, then you are rest assured that, oh, if I buy it and I put so and so food in there, it will remain warm till my child is ready to eat it. Personally, one food that I find very difficult to eat when it's cold is ampesi, whether yam or plantain. Especially when yam gets cold, then you will not like it. It becomes hard. Me, I like soft yam, so when it becomes cold, it's a no-no for me. So just imagine packing yam for your child, and then it's lunchtime and they're about to eat it, and it is cold. Like, not like chilled cold, but like room temperature cold. Like, it will not be enjoyable. So if you can just see, if you buy a new lunch box and you're not sure that it can keep food at a certain temperature for maybe 6 hours till they have the lunch, don't try with these things. When rice is at room temperature, kids enjoy it. You see, so it's safe to pack something like rice for their lunch. But if you pack ampesi like this and it gets cold, and they bring it back or they don't eat it, your child will starve in school. That's the thing. That's the truth. So please, let's all make sure that whatever you're packing for your child is not something that will get, like, when it gets cold, it's very difficult to eat. I don't even know other examples, but ampesi is top on my list because I've experienced it, and I'm like, Charlie, this one day I cannot. My boys don't even like ampesi, so it's not even something I'll consider if I was packing lunch for them. Please, if you pass through the live, give me a thumbs up, okay? And let's continue the conversation. If you have any inputs to put it in the live comment section. And even when the video is over, you can still do a replay, okay? So please pass through and then let's talk, let's vibe. Drop your comments, eh? So, and I think I also mentioned this briefly. Do not pack foods that are not ready to eat. Whatever thing you are putting in your child's lunch box, don't give the teachers wahala of now coming to mix things together. Like, chill. There are like at least 10 people in your child's class. Only your child. You've given, for a lack of better examples, you've given your child Cerelac. You've now come to give them cornflakes. Like, things that the teacher has to assemble every time they want to eat. Charlie, it's a no-no. Me, for example, even breakfast. When I give the boys breakfast to school, and let me just take, I give them porridge, Tom Brown. When the Tom Brown is almost done, I put my milk and my sugar in there, stir everything, let it boil over a bit, and then pour it into their flask, and they'll take it. I will not give the teacher the added problem of putting the sugar and the milk inside and mixing when they're ready to eat. Mm-mm. And I know, because I've been doing this since they started school, I know that it doesn't become watery when they are ready to eat it. The trick to that, which like, let me just say this in passing. If you want to, if you're cooking porridge and you want to add the milk and sugar in there, and avoid it being watery when the child is ready to eat, when the thing is on fire, then you put the sugar and the milk inside, give it a stir, and then leave it for about 2 minutes to boil over, or simmer, whatever you want to call it, before you take it off the fire. What makes it watery most of the time is when you take the porridge off the fire and then you put the sugar and the milk in there and you leave it, like, what, stir, you stir with a spoon or whatever, and you leave it there. It will become watery. So that's one trick. That thing has worked for me since my first son started school at 2 years or something like that, and he's 5 now. So tradition goes on. That's how I've been doing their breakfast with them. Even when they are home, no, not make Tom Brown or oats, whatever. I put the sugar and the milk on fire. When the porridge is still on fire, let it boil over, and then when you're ready to eat, they'll eat it. It will still be in the perfect state. Okay, so yeah, back to what we're talking about. Do not pack foods that are difficult to put together, which are not ready to be eaten. So one example I gave was the orange. If your child is not strong enough to squeeze juice out of a whole orange, do not pack an orange for them for in their lunch boxes. Okay, do not add an orange to it. And I want to get another what else? Another fruit that is not really ready to eat. I mean, with watermelons, you can just give them slices in there and then they are good to go. You can, like, you shouldn't give your child a whole mango to school. Okay, peel the mango, wash it, peel it, cut it up into small bits, and then put some in there for the child to eat when they are ready to eat. Don't give your child wahala. Don't give their teachers wahala as well. Okay, it's the beginning of the school year. Let the teachers, like, let the pressure be small, kaka. Not like you go and put all your pressure on them before they'll get frustrated in the next 2 weeks. Okay, please. And I wanted to talk about homemade juices. So in the past, I have contemplated packing homemade fruit juices for my boys to school. Okay, and I've got maybe 2 or 3 mummies in my um, inbox talking about how they would treat their child's juice if it was like the child. Let me see if I wrote this thing down. If Okay, I think I'll do a live basically entirely for this fruit juices thing, but personally, it's not really advisable to pack fresh fruit juices for your child to school. I think the best you can do is to give them the fruit itself, the fruit in its whole state, or maybe I call it natural state. Okay, if you wanted to give them orange juice, please don't do that. Give them the whole orange to school. I think I'll do a live talking about this in entirety, like how to pack these homemade juices or homemade purees for your child to school. If you slack, especially with the kind of climate we have in Ghana, if you slack and you give the child this to school and it's time for them to eat it or drink it and it has gone bad, which is most likely going to be the case, you're going to disturb your child's stomach. They are going to end up falling sick and you will end up suffering for that. So please, as much as possible, if you don't have a correct way of packing your fruit juices or the school doesn't have a refrigerator, do not pack fresh fruit juices or homemade fruit juices for your kids. The store-bought ones have preservatives, so they can be carried along in normal temperature, like whatever temperature it passes through. What is required of them that when you open them up, it has to be refrigerated. So that's why most people give them, what's it called, the store-bought fruit juices to their kids to school. But if you do make homemade juice or fresh homemade juice for your child, it's not advisable to pack those juices for them to take to school for lunch. Because like I said, if you do small yawa and you don't know how to store them properly, or they are not properly taken care of till lunchtime and your child takes it, it's going to be very bad for your child's tummy. So please take note of that, okay? And now let's talk about I put down some few examples of foods, okay, that we can pack for these kids. I know it's because it's back to school season. A lot of parents are looking for options or meal ideas to give to their kids who are going to school, even those who come back like maybe around 2-ish to come and eat at home. They are looking for ideas as to meals to cook for them or whatever. That being said, just to cross, maybe after this live I'll put links in the description box. I have timetables for babies and toddlers. I have timetables for breastfeeding mothers, those who like to lose weight, and for, what is it even called, for glowing skin. Yes, I'll drop those links in the description box. Whenever you're free, you can go and check. Not whenever you're free, like, feel free to go and check it out and then make some tweaks to it, and then you can implement it in your house. Not that timetables or food timetables are meant to be followed to the latter. It's not like we are not running a military here, okay? But it gives you an idea of things. See, it's very frustrating to ask even adults, like, oh, what do you want to have for lunch? Or what do you want to have for supper? And everybody's like, anything. Anything is not food, please. If you have a lunch, if you have a food timetable, it's easier to make these decisions. So if you look at it and you're like, oh, today there's rice and stew on the menu or on the timetable, are you up for it? And they're like, oh no. Oh, okay, tomorrow we are supposed to be having kinky. Would you like us to have the kinky today so that we don't have to have kinky tomorrow? We can have rice and stew if you like tomorrow. Problem solved. Decision making has been taken in the shortest possible time. Okay, so please check out those links and then make some tweaks for your children as well. So I'm going to just read out the ideas I wrote. So these are like foods with snack ideas that you can play around with. I mean, there are just 5 days in the week, so like I said, if you consider all the points I've raised and you look at the examples I'm going to give, whatever works for your child is great. Okay, so I have here spark jollof or pasta jollof, which can go with boiled eggs or fish fillet. So I have a recipe for spark jollof on my channel. I posted it way back. I check, please. So if I do remember, oh, let me just make a note so that I will what is it called? Drop the link in the description box when I'm done. Okay. So Samira, hello. How are you? Please give me a thumbs up when you join the live. Okay. Samira, ask me who will post that chat. Anna. Samira, I don't get you. Hey, me mistake where you mana. Me title him. Feeding our kids. Feeding the kids. You're feeding the kids. Am I right? Yeah, they had a free or hakakra. Oma could teacher for them, so we are breathing small fresh air. Oh, okay. When I'm done with the live, I'll check it and correct it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the correction. Sometimes pressure, no pressure. But type here na Google so they need to share any muna ama auto correct no. The times are supposed to work. Yes, please. I'm helping to yes, please, to feed the kids with menus. Yes, please, I am. And now, like I was saying, autocorrect no. If you share any majuma no instead of autocorrect to be correcting these things for us, it's not correct too. Oh, no man, that way then was all typing, not autocorrect that type about. When I'm done, I'll do the correction. Thank you so much for joining the live. Please, if you pass through, give me a thumbs up, okay? Before going, give me a thumbs up and say hi so that I know that you were here. We'll be done very soon, Kara. But today, life has been lifing, but today I'm like, no, let me do this live. Let me do this live and get it over and done with. I was supposed to have posted a video yesterday. So to be honest, I was supposed to have posted this video yesterday. This live video I'm talking about. It was supposed to be a video which I had recorded earlier, but Charlie, life has lived. The voice only went back yesterday, so it's been chaotic in the house here. But yeah, so I just said let me just do it so that I don't have to edit. That's why today I've come on live, and I'll drop my next video on Friday. Friday, what am I dropping? Oh yes, I have a one pot recipe which I'll be posting on Friday. This one pot rice and chicken recipe, you have to watch it and try it. The way my household enjoyed it, the way my household enjoyed it, Charlie, you have to also watch that recipe and try it. I'll be posting it 12 noon GMT. Okay, Ghana time. GMT. Please don't come and say I don't know the meaning of GMT. It is Greenwich Meridian time. Okay. I'll be posting at 12 noon on Friday, God willing. So when I do drop it, please watch it. Give me a thumbs up, share, leave a comment. YouTuber's national anthem. Oh, you are short of recipes. Sometimes it happens. So see those of us who like cooking a lot in post, sometimes we run out of ideas for recipes for the kids. So Charlie is everywhere. I thought that the kids can be very picky at some point. Like yesterday, like this, the boy said he wanted jollof. When I did the jollof, mekoni Jimmy said kakre, it became a little spicy. They were eating the food for like 1 hour. They will eat 2 spoons and go and drink water. Kids can be like that. They will eat 2 spoons and go and drink water. So Charlie, small, small. But sometimes, last, I have another video I'm planning on going on, like some of the ingredients that you have to have in your kitchen. Like personally, there are some ingredients that are always in my kitchen, or there are some food items that are always in my kitchen because of the boys. I have to make sure that I have these things because when they are doing their shakara things and I pull out one of them is ripe plantain. If like we run out of ideas, you don't want to eat anything, I just fry plantain, add fried egg, we finished. So there are some things that are in my kitchen like that have to always be in my kitchen because of the kids. So sometimes I just allow them to choose. Last, the kids will go on some very lazy nights or like nights where I'm very tired and Charlie, I give them breakfast for supper. Seriously, they will not die. So sometimes if I'm like I'm not in the mood and I don't have the help, Tom Brown with bread, egg, yakoda. Like once they are full, it's okay, they'll sleep. So Charlie, it's not always easy with kids, but we will conquer, we'll survive. Eh? So I was giving some examples of foods that we can pack for the kids for their lunches. So I have spaghetti or pasta jollof. You can add boiled egg or fish fillet, like fish without the bones, because we just want to be careful because they are taking it to school, okay? If it's at home, they are maybe fine. But at school, oh, okay. Sabrina, you see, the funny thing is that sometimes we those of us with the younger kids, we we hope that our kids were older. But I mean, I know it's a phase. We all get there. Sometimes we all hope that our kids were older. So as for Indomie dear, to the rescue, Ampa, I'm saying, well, if you pick it up right now, papa, it depends. In the next 5 to 10 minutes, you have your meal ready. And I wish that the boys would get to a stage where they could be cooking for themselves. But right now, so far we have to suffer. In the kitchen, every time it's like they are dependent on you. You can't even, like weekends, Saturday, you want to sleep small. No, mommy, I'm hungry. And I mean, if you want to leave them to eat the unhealthy junk stuff all the time, it's not over well for you. So, Charlie, yes, I know they'll get there soon. Kakran, kakran. Time is everything. Time is all we need to get there. Sometimes it's not easy, but patience. Everybody's time will come. Yes. Thank you so much for your input, Samira. So pasta and spag jollof, like I've said it already, with boiled egg, fish fillet, like fish without the bones, eh? Deboned fish, maybe. I think that's what it's called here. But another example could be fried plantain and stew. So like I said in the beginning, me, I've ruled out palm oil. So if I fry plantain, there's no way that I'm adding beans. Because me, beans in my house, I always use palm oil. So there's no way that I'm adding what is it called? Beans to plantain. Like I'm not giving them red to school ever. I'll do the stew with fried plantain if I was going to pack lunch for them. And then rice and stew. You can do minced meat. So I think one point I didn't or I forgot to add. If you're going to be giving your child meat to school, please make it in small chunks. Make sure the meat is tender. Like you don't want maybe for example, yesterday when I did the jollof, I realized that the meat was a bit tough for them, though they were in small chunks. There was one that was big, eh? And my second son had been chewing down meat for like 3 minutes. I was like, swallow the thing, only for him to bring it out, and I realized that it was too hard for him, or it wasn't soft enough for him to have finished chewing it, and it was also big. So as much as possible, let's make sure it's in like small bits or small chunks if you like. Don't like maybe if it's chicken crana, we can do chicken nuggets instead of chicken with a bone inside. So something like that. You consider these things when you're packing their lunch boxes. Okay, so like I said, you can do rice and minced meat stew instead of goat meat stew. Like you can use sardines, you can use now that I mentioned sardine, I remember there's a certain friend Nisodia. Nisodia, your sardine stew. I'm going to tell you 45th minute, watch to that time because I mentioned your name. Nisodia. Eh? Nisodia and sardine stew. You can do rice and sardine stew for Junior to take to school, okay? Okay. So I have here to yam and egg stew, which is also very good. I mean, very easy to put together as well. But like I said in the beginning, for the yam, unless you have um a lunch box that you are very sure that by the time the child is going to eat the food, the yam will not have become cold because it's not pleasant to eat when it's cold. Okay, we have banku and oilless okro. When my boys were much younger, I used to pack banku and okro for them to school. I mean, the one without palm oil to school a lot of times because they like, so, and to be honest, me too, I like it when I feed them with swallows because I can't them. Like, oh, man, I know, yes, I feel now very sabia. I find even rice cry when I'm feeding them, it's like, it is not now that they will finish eating. But with the swallow, oh, maybe 10 minutes, the food is finished. So, if you are going to be giving them like banku and okra, make sure it doesn't have palm oil. Personally, I'll say make sure it doesn't have palm oil in the okra, but if you want to wash, continue, okay? Then we have omuto and granite soup. Somebody will say you can do omuto and palm nut soup. If you want to wash, continue. But me, I'll do omuto and granite. Even got that one cry. Me personally, I will not pack omuto and granules because soup is soup. Soup is watery. I don't know how to put it, but I will not end up. Maybe once in a while we can do omuto and granite soup. That's also fine. Yeah. We have wachi here too. I have good old jollof fried rice also here. If there are any ones that are missing and somebody has any ideas, they can drop it in the comment section as well. But basically, these are some of the foods that you can pack for them. There are 5 days in a week, so if you have like 10, 15 options, you can do cha-cha with them. Every week you offer subset A, then the following week you do B, the following week you do C. You can have 4 groups so that it will be like every week in the month you shuffle it a bit so that it's not like every time the child is taking jollof to school every Monday. Yes, and one more and fried eggs. Well, that's one very easy one to put together. Thank you, Samira. And one more and fried eggs will be nice. And if your child doesn't like vegetables, it is not anything. Me, my boys, if they see onions in something, they'll pick them out. So me, in this house, I almost never slice onions. I always dice them so that by the time the food is ready, it has entered. Like it has almost vanished so that it's not like they are picking it out or something like that. Yes, so you can also think about that as well. And then for like the smaller bits of lunch items, okay, like if you pack the lunch box for the child, I sometimes it's just not the main food. There's fruits, there's also like maybe some small snack if you like. So these are some of the things you can also include. Pancakes. Pancakes are good for um breakfast, but you can eat it at any other time. My boys like this, they don't mind if their pancake is cold, so that's why I added pancakes to the list. So you can do pancakes, you can add crackers. So basically biscuits that are low in sugar. See, me personally, my boys are very hyper. So as much as possible, I never want to overfeed them with sugar or sugary stuff or give them sugary stuff too much because it will ginger them. Like the adrenaline will be too much for me. So even there are some certain times of the day, like when they are about to sleep, maybe around 6ish, I try as much as possible not to give them things that contain sugar because they will pepper you before they sleep. So like it's one of the things you should think about, especially if your kids are very active. Okay, then you don't want to be feeding them with sugary stuff so that they are always like hyper. And of course, it's not good for their health anyway. You don't want to be um thinking about diabetes in the future and stuff like that. So yeah, try as much as possible to take out that or to consider that. Okay, we have cakes as well. If you Okay, let me talk for myself. Me, I make the cakes for them at home, so I'm able to regulates the amount of sugar that's in there. If you're going to buy store-bought cakes, no judgment here, that's fine. But make sure that the sugar is not too much. So you as an adult, just taste it and see. Or maybe taste it and see if it's okay. If not, maybe change the vendor or something. Or if you can contract somebody to bake the cakes for you, tell them that, oh, this is for my kids, so please reduce the sugar. Or there are even cake recipes that don't have sugar at all in them. You can use bananas as replacement, dates. So like just experiment with these ones. If there are people who can help you put it together, there are some places you can buy them, feel free. It's not everybody that has to, or that has the time. There's nothing wrong with it. That has the time to always be cooking for their kids or something at home. So whatever works for you, whatever is convenient, just as um just make sure it's healthy for them, that's all. So I have here grapes as well. Grapes, if your child is maybe not over 2 years, I wouldn't advise it because it can pose a choking hazard. Okay, they advise also that if even if you're going to give them grapes, maybe cut them into quarters or halves depending on the size of the grape, so that when they pick it up and they swallow it cry to not choke them. So yeah, that's one trick. You can do nuts also, depending on the age of their child. My boys like granuts. They call it ray. I don't even know who told them that granuts is ray in Chi. Ray means chew in Chi, but that's what they call it. So you can do granuts as well. Not granuts, you can do nuts in general if your child is not allergic to it and their age permits them to chew it without being choked. So maybe less than 2 years, it's not advisable to pack for them nuts, because if they are unable to chew it properly, it may get stuck in their throat and cause other problems. Okay, depending on your child's favorites or eating habits, you can also do sandwich. My boy is obsessed with honey lately, so I can just do bread and spread honey in there, and he's good to go. We can do bread and jam, bread and margarine, bread and peanut butter. So one friend in granite paste. That one too, they are good to go. So if your child doesn't mind seeing vegetables and will eat them, you can do a vegetable sandwich. You can do egg avocado sandwich. There are endless possibilities when it comes to bread and filling. Bread and egg, very the authentic Ghanaian bread and egg chibum. You can just do that, and that's fine for the child as well. You can do nuggets. So like I mentioned earlier, chicken nuggets. So you can go with the rice. The child can eat the chicken nuggets on its own. Just you can just add a few vegetables in there to up the nutrients a bit. Okay. This point I'm coming to mention is making me laugh. Chin chin. According to Winging It with AC, chin chin is a Yasi chips. But yeah, the Ghana chips, those things are like if you feel like your child can chew on them. But if you are going to make chin chin, don't make sure they are not hard. Like chin chin will have only too much for the kids. So a honey hole. Maybe Samira can help us with a recipe like I think Samira dropped the recipe like that. Christmas time no. Um it's easy to chew. I don't even know if did she say chewable? Maybe if it title no kakra, but if I'm not mistaken, that's what drop it. Samira what drop a recipe beside, and it was I found that was a very child friendly chin chin recipe that will not break the jaws of the little ones. Okay, and when it comes, yeah, so you can also do pies, mini pies, meat pies, fish pies, anyone, small ones. If your child likes them, you can do spring rolls, you can do donuts as well. And with the fruits, you can do any fruits of your choice. So far as they are not going to struggle to eat at school, and so far as you are going to be able to get something that is a container that is good enough to store it properly till the child is ready to eat it, why not go for it? Makasa Bre, finally I have done this live. Please, if you're watching a replay, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below still, share this video. I'm sure it will be beneficial to somebody out there, so please share the video and then let's keep this family going. I have to drink some water. I should have brought water here, but I'm not close to water, but anyway. Thank you so much for joining this live. My tired is tired. So like I said, expect my video on Friday. Today's date is the 10th, I believe. Today is the 11th. So Friday is the 13th. Jemima, Friday the 13th. So sorry. This is me thinking out loud, but yeah. Friday is the 13th. So you can watch that video at 12 noon GMT. It's a one pot rice and chicken dish. It was inspired by a recipe that is out of my jurisdiction, a recipe or a country that is like far from my reach. But when I saw it, I'm like, this looks interesting. Let me go and look for a few recipes and see how I can make it my Ghanaian style, because it's not a Ghanaian recipe. So just a tip, it's from Saudi Arabia. It's an Arabian recipe. But when we like, hmm. So I prepared it over the weekend, right? I think I prepared it on, today is Wednesday. I prepared it on maybe Friday, I think. Yeah, Friday or something. And the way it saved my life on Saturday, like, because that's all they wanted to eat and there was leftover. So I'm like, Charlie, let me just relax on this Saturday morning. And everybody was happy, everybody enjoyed it. Me that I cooked it, I was surprised at the outcome because I've not prepared it before. So I was just hoping that it would be nice. With the quantity I cooked, I just crossed my fingers. And I was just, when I was pouring the ingredients inside, I was just waiting for my sister to say, my child, the salt is okay. My child, the powder is okay. You know, but in the end, it was very delicious. And I can't wait for you guys to see it on Friday. And I can't wait for you to try it as well. I'm sure you're going to like it. If you have watched this video to this far, I don't know what to tell you. Thank you so much. Almost 1 hour. If you've seen this part, God bless you so much. Please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, like this video. Hey, I've said like, give it a thumbs up already. Okay, like this video, share the video, and let others also benefit, because you're going to like it. You're going to like the juicy details that are here. You're really going to like it. Okay, and I hope that you're going to be, from this video ongoing, after you watch this video, henceforth you're going to pack lunches. You're going, the lunch boxes you're going to pack for the little bloomers will bring glory to God. Okay, and I wish you guys all the best this year. Everything that we touch will flourish. Everything will be successful. All our dreams and aspirations will come true. I mean, it involves a lot of hard work, so you should be ready to put in that hard work. Okay, and thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to all the my fellow YouTubers who have been supporting me. Thank you so much to all the individuals that have been watching my videos. I thank all the people who have been giving me feedback, whether positive, I won't say that, but like feedback in general. Like the things that I can do better, the things that I am doing well at, like all these things mean so much to me. So thank you so much to every single body that has made my YouTube journey a success. Okay, and until I see you again in another video, don't forget, don't ever forget to keep blooming. Bye.